Oh, hey, how you doing? What's that? Oh, you noticed my new piercings? Ooh, man, you're so nice. Yeah, I got my ears pierced and I almost threw up. I didn't know people threw up, and that's when I found out. But I didn't, so I'm a champion. Hi guys, welcome back to another Coffee Games, where we're going to talk about the Tony Hawk game. This is kind of a sequel to the last video we did on skateboarding games, back when we did green screen video essays. I'll link it right up here if you want to check it out. The only reason why we stopped those is because they took a month to make, so yeah, we're going to come back to skateboarding games in this video. We're going to be talking about, will the Tony Hawk Remaster bring back skateboarding games for good? But before we get started, hi, how you doing? You doing good? How are your piercings holding up? Mine are ouchie boo-boo. But if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I hope you consider clicking that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when all of these videos come out, as well as our weekly podcast, the Games and Groceries podcast. And if you get to the end of this video and you enjoyed what you watched, definitely hitting that like and the share button helps out the channel a lot because it lets people know, oh, wow, Games and Groceries exists. Cool. But yeah, so the Tony Hawk, I don't know, that was a dumb transition, but here we are. The Tony Hawk Remaster came out September 4th. I've been playing it pretty much nonstop. The only games I've been playing are Tony Hawk and Tell Me Why. And I really want to talk about this game bringing back skateboarding games for good. So without further ado, let's just jump into the first point. So let's be real here, okay? The Tony Hawk Pro Skater games back in the day were the pinnacle of skateboarding games. There was a lot of different skateboarding games that came out, and we talked about that in the green screen video that we did last. That there was just a plethora of skateboarding games, but nothing could really beat the feeling of a Tony Hawk game. You know, there's some other games that, came close, but, point being, Tony Hawk was the pinnacle. But here's the problem, though. It was the pinnacle back in the day, in 1999, 2000, like the early 2000s, 2003, great. But will that same game reach the audiences of today? Will it reach modern gaming as it is right now? And you had to test the waters before you come back to it. They could have made a whole new Tony Hawk game so we could forget about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, but they could have made a whole new one, but it's still kind of tricky. What's the best way to test the waters before you release other skateboarding games, especially in the Tony Hawk franchise? A remaster of the best ones. That's how you test the waters. You put out a really good remaster, not a remake. It was still the source code, so not as much assets needed for this game. Still a good effort, but it was a great way to test the waters. And so you put out the best ones, 1 and 2, in my opinion, and see what happens. And I think this was the best way to test the waters of this. A remaster is always a good way to say,
hey, do you like these old games? Do you like this old style of game? We'll remaster it. Do you like it? Maybe we could do this.
And if people like it, then yeah, you can make a whole new one. Sure. But I think this is just a way to test the system, test the waters, test the audience. If Tony Hawk games could survive in 2020 gaming, or even going into next gen systems, into Series X and PS5. That brings me to my second point. What were the results of this test? So let's talk about the test results here. Now coming into it, now we know the sales numbers, roughly the physical sales numbers, according to GameIndustry.biz. Apparently, Tony Hawk's Remaster came number 2 in the sales charts on the time of release, right under the Avengers game, which is fair because Avengers, they got the title in there. It's Square Enix. A lot of people are looking forward to this, so of course, maybe that wouldn't beat it out. But the fact that it came number 2 under Avengers is fantastic in physical sales, by the way, in the UK. But it came number 2. But let's even talk about the review scores. So far, by the time I'm recording this video, it has an 89 Metacritic score, an 89. It's basically a 90. And for the user score, it's a 9.1. And that's really, really great. What's even better is that this particular remaster, right, the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remaster, is the biggest launch since 2003. The only other game that had this fast of a launch was Tony Hawk's Underground, which fantastic game, by the way. But yeah, so this was the biggest launch. Critics and audiences love this game, and it came number 2 to Avengers. So the test results are pretty outstanding for this remaster. I've been playing it, so this is coming from a personal standpoint. Mini review time! Whoa, cool! I absolutely adore this game. I think they remastered it super well. They absolutely love the level design. Everything about it, stood out to me. I love how they mixed in the modern music with the retro music. It's a nice flow to it. The Creative Skater, there's some flaws to it, but all around, this is a fantastic remaster. I can't stop playing this game. I absolutely adore this game. And that's why the reviews are doing so well, because I like the game. Stupid. But yeah, the test results couldn't be any better. So yeah, this is coming from a Tony Hawk game. Of course, the review scores are great. There was also another skateboarding game that just released a little bit before Tony Hawk. It was called Skater XL. It got a 57 Metacritic and a user score, I believe, around a 5. And I don't really want to fault that game because it's a new IP from a brand new studio. So the fact that this brand new IP coming from a new studio even got into the 50s, it's an average skateboarding game, and I think there's still hope, especially for the studio. Their first foot in. That's all right. And I still think that because people enjoyed it, they didn't hate it, they liked it, and the fact that they love Tony Hawk is a fantastic test result for something that we could see into the future of skateboarding games. I talked a little bit about in the last video we did that skateboarding as a culture is on the rise. People are getting more interested in skateboarding, and now we get these great skateboarding games right at the good time of when skateboarding is coming back into, mainstream. I think this is the perfect time to launch more skateboarding games, and the results speak for themselves. So that brings me to my third point. What does this mean for the future? Are there going to be new skateboarding games soon? Adam, stop talking. Just go into the next point. Let's talk about the new era of skate games. So as we know, playing video games, especially if you follow the industry like the Games and Groceries podcast does. But if you follow industry news, you know that with great success of a certain game comes great, let's say, inspiration from other developers. Take, for example, The Witcher 3. When that came out, it set a whole new standard for how RPGs are made. So when The Witcher 3 had a lot of success, not just it came out and people were like, oh, that's nice. No, it had a lot of success. The Witcher 3 had a lot of success, and then we got a lot of different RPGs that followed the Witcher style. Or even when Destiny came out. When Destiny came out, it was great results, great inspiration, and a lot of people followed suit for the Destiny formats. Not trying to say there's copycats, but with great success comes great inspiration. Now the Tony Hawk Remaster had great results, even from, going on Skater XL. Like I said before, it was fine from a new studio. And with those great successes will come great inspiration. We already heard that Skate 4 is already in development. We heard this before when Tony Hawk came out, right? This was in the EA Play thing. That was a bummer. I didn't like that conference, whatever. But we already heard that Skate 4 is already in development. But even more so, what will new developers think soon? Will Tony Hawk make a brand new game? Or will there be a Nia Houston pro skater? I hope so. Nia Houston's a monster. Or Shane O'Neill. I don't care which one. Who cares? But there could be a whole new pro skater series. Or hear me out, Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk, I know you're watching this. Maybe make a Tony Hawk Underground remaster. Please, pretty please. I really would love especially if it was the same kind of remaster, Tony Hawk's Underground. Oh my goodness, I would lose my mind. But anyways, that's a point for another video. But here's my point for this. With great success comes great inspiration. Maybe this, with the fantastic results that this remaster got, people are going to follow suit. And I'm not saying might, but people are going to follow suit. They're saying that, oh, this works, this format works, So why not try to make a game that's a skateboarding game? We already have Session in early access. People are on it, but it's in early access. Come on now. And it's going to be releasing. Then we got Skate 4 coming out, but then Tony Hawk and Vicarious Visions, where they might just say, let's make another remaster from the series, Tony Hawk's Underground, or Nia Houston could make a new Pro Skater game. I'm just saying that these results will speak numbers, and I'm saying in the next 5 years, we're going to see a whole plethora of new skate games. But here's the thing, it's going to be a new era of skate games. So this is my final point on this point. But with a new era, it has to be modernized. You'll notice that in the Tony Hawk Remaster, it's a lot more modernized. It's heavy. It's faster. It's more stylized the way modern gamers play versus in the original. It's not a complete copy paste. There are some tweaks. There's some things that were put in like spine transfers and reverts that modern games are used to. So when I say there's going to be new skate games, it's going to be a new era of skate games coming into play. And I think that's fantastic for people like me who absolutely adore the Tony Hawk series. I like the Thrasher game. It was nice. Skate or Die. That was good. I liked it. But I'm definitely digging these results, and people are going to follow suit. But that actually brings me to my bonus points. Bonus discussion! So as a result of the Tony Hawk game having great success, I think this is actually going to bring back old skaters back on their boards, and it's going to inspire new skaters to pursue skateboarding. I mean, think of it. Okay, well, this is also another personal point for me. Playing this game, I want to get on my board so badly. I want to get back into skating again. I want to go grind some rails, but where I currently live, there's not a ton of places to skate, which is a bummer. There are places, it's just I have to drive there. It's just, But here's my point, is that just playing it for me personally, I want to get back into skating. Who knows about other people? This has had great success. People are playing this. People are loving it. It might inspire new people to get into skateboarding. It might inspire people who are older to get back into skateboarding. My point is that maybe skate culture will come back to the mainstream. And I know with skaters, I know it's kind of nerve-wracking that skating mainstream. I know nobody wants it, but if more skateboarders, come into the sport, and with the Olympics coming up and skateboarding's going into the Summer Olympics, we might have more skate parks. We might have more places to skate. We might have better places to find. I don't know. I'm just saying that skate culture needs to come back, dude. I need skate culture to come back as the mainstream, as something that people follow. I don't know. It's skateboarding's so fun, man. And I just want to go back to it. But at one point I do want to say is that if you do go back into skateboarding, definitely check out Wisdom Skateboards. I'll put the link in the description below. They got 3 decks, and I think they're well made. They're a Christian skateboarding company. I'm not sponsored. You won't find my deck there, and I'm not even close to being sponsored, so this isn't even sponsored at all. But I just really like the decks, the way they're built. You can go Revive too. Revive's fine. But yeah, definitely check out Wisdom Skateboards. Start with an 8 and then move your way up. I do an 8.25, but that's just me. That mini rant over. But yeah, get back into skateboarding. Bring back skate culture, and please, for the love of God, remaster Underground. I need it, please. But I want to hear from you in the comments down below. What do you think? Is the Tony Hawk Remaster going to bring back skateboarding games? Is it going to bring back skate culture? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Are you playing Tony Hawk? Are you liking it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Let's hear all of your thoughts down in the comments down below. And if you like what you watch, definitely click that like and the share button so that more people know about the channel, as well as subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you know when all these videos come out and our weekly podcast. So I'm gonna head out now. I'm quite literally about to do some business things on the ends of Games and Groceries, and then literally right after this, I'm going to be playing Tony Hawk. So I gotta get going. I gotta play more Tony Hawk. Thanks for sticking around. And hey, wear your mask. Set a new, oh no.